Seattle beat the Tampa Bay Vipers 17-9, and Tampa's been really struggling at the quarterback position. Here's the horrible reality. Not the horrible reality, but a horrible reality that we have to deal with. I feel bad for Vipers fans. In the first 2 weeks, their team has been in the red zone 7 times. 7 trips to the red zone, meaning they were so close to the end zone. And they haven't scored once. They're 0-7, 0 for 7 in the red zone in the first 2 weeks. They cannot finish drives. I feel so bad for the Tampa Bay Vipers. They have 1 touchdown all year, and they got it on defense from a pick 6. Now, week 1, Aaron Murray was the starting quarterback. He had 2 interceptions, and conveniently going into week 2, conveniently is the word I'll use, conveniently, he was hurt. Is that real? Is that not? I don't know. We'll find out. So in week 2, Tampa played 2 different quarterbacks. They played Taylor Cornelius at quarterback, and they played Quinton Flowers. Both of them were bad. They missed wide open receivers. They made inaccurate throws. They were very inaccurate. They made bad decisions. I felt bad for the Vipers head coach, Mark Trestman. Taylor Cornelius had 2 interceptions. Quinton Flowers also had an interception. And, man, I don't know. I criticized Mark Trestman for not giving Quinton Flowers an opportunity during week 1. Well, in week 2, he did give him an opportunity. Flowers got the opportunity. Flowers had the chance, and he wasn't very good. There was a key 3rd down that really stands out in my mind where it was a great play call. I think it was 3rd and 3. Mark Trestman made a great play call where there was man-to-man coverage on the left. The receiver ran a slant. It was wide open, and Brandon Flowers threw it behind the receiver and allowed the defender to make a play. And really, threw it egregiously behind the receiver. It was open. It was there. And he just missed the throw and cost his team a 1st down. I went, oof, man, what do you do? I'm really not sure what Mark Trestman can do now as the offensive coordinator of the Vipers. All of your quarterbacks are bad. Now, I met Mark. I was at the game. I met him. I got to ask him a question. He's a very nice man. I really liked him. I got a great vibe from him. And his hands are tied. Now, the one question I should have asked him, I learned for next time, I feel so bad, but I'm learning how to cover teams live and how to do interviews. And I felt wrong, but I realized it's not my job to be friends with Mark Trestman. It's my job to ask him an uncomfortable question. And so, the Vipers have tried everything at quarterback. They've had 3 different quarterbacks. Every single one of them was bad. And if I could go back in time, the question I would ask Mark Trestman is I would ask if there's been any thought to build an offense around Quinton Flowers' ability to run, the same way that the Ravens did with Lamar Jackson or the way that Oklahoma did with Jalen Hurts. I think I could have asked that question, and it wouldn't have been disrespectful. It would have come across well, and I should have asked it. I learned for next time. Because the Vipers have 3 quarterbacks. They're all bad. They have weak arms. They have below average accuracy. They're below average decision makers. 2 of the 3 can't run, though. Aaron Murray and Taylor Cornelius are not dynamic athletes at all. Now, Quinton Flowers has one feature the other 2 quarterbacks do not. He's a dynamic, really good athlete. He's a great runner. And I wonder, because the Vipers have tried everything else. They've tried to run a normal offense. They've tried 3 different quarterbacks. They've tried everything. They're 0 for 7 in the red zone. Things are going horribly. Maybe they change everything and adapt their offense to fit into a running quarterback system. That's the only thing I have. Like, what other move does Mark Trestman have? I feel so bad for the guy because Mark Trestman doesn't have a quarterback, and he needs a quarterback. And he's a good play caller. If there are opportunities, Mark Trestman has a bad rap. He was the head coach of the Bears. He failed. But I watched the game on Saturday. He had receivers open. Nick Truesdale wide open in the middle of the field. Multiple times slants. They're great play calls being wasted because his quarterback couldn't make the throw. And I'm like, what do you do if you're the head coach here? You're the offensive coordinator. And guys are open. The play calls are right, and your quarterback can't deliver. I felt bad for Mark Trestman. He's going to be made out to be the villain. He doesn't deserve it. His quarterbacks aren't delivering. So maybe the only move they have left is to build an offense around the fact that Quinton Flowers is a dynamic running quarterback, and they just run the ball, run basically a wildcat system with Quinton Flowers, teach him how to play quarterback. I don't know what else to do with the Tampa Bay Vipers. 2 weeks in, their quarterbacks have been terrible. They can't finish drives. It's been a gigantic, gigantic mess with the Tampa Bay Vipers. Now, the last word I want to say about the Tampa Bay Vipers is their best player is tight end Nick Truesdell. He's 29 years old. He actually works out at a gym down the street from me called New Athlete in Vancouver, Washington, where I live. And he's always open. He's always open. Multiple times he was wide open down the middle of the field, and either the quarterback didn't see him or couldn't get him the ball or couldn't throw accurately. It was like, what's going on? So I just want to make a point. If you watch the Vipers in the future, pay attention to Nick Truesdell. I apologize, I forget his number. If you're that interested, go look up his number. But he will be in an NFL uniform this fall. He's a great receiving tight end. I don't know if he's going to make a team, but if he doesn't make a team, that's an NFL team's fault. You got to know what you're bringing in. Nick Truesdell is not a guy I'd want to block in the running game, but Nick Truesdell is a great receiving tight end who creates mismatches with linebackers. Linebackers cannot guard him and cannot cover him. And if I was an NFL team, I'd say, hey, that guy Nick Truesdell looks like Antonio Gates. He's a great rebounder. He's got a big, huge body, great hands. We're not going to try to make him block in the running game, but man, we can use him in the passing game. Maybe a team like the Saints or the Raiders or somebody has to be able to see what Nick Truesdell brings to the table, the value he brings. He's got a great, great athletic gift. And if I was an NFL team, I'd look at Nick Truesdell and say, man, this guy can play in the NFL. He can beat linebackers in coverage and running routes at least. And so I think Nick Truesdell is the guy to watch in Tampa Bay. He might have an NFL future. Pay attention to him.